Before the episode, we want to take a second to shout out some of our Patreon supporters. Thank you, Maggie, Sarah, Heidi, Lauren, Becky, and Mary. We appreciate you and your support and the things that your support lets us do. If you want to join them and check out the cool rewards that we have, like things you can get in the mail or digital bonuses and the goals that we have for the money that comes through Patreon, you can head to patreon.com/Sartorial Geek and find all of that there. We also wanted to say that we have had some really, really incredible reviews come through on iTunes lately. So thank you so much to everyone who has taken the time to write us a review or even just hit the stars on the rating. That has been great. And if you have an extra second and haven't done that yet, we've actually seen like how the extra ratings and reviews that we've gotten has changed our status in the iTunes charts. So if you have a minute and like the things that we're doing and don't mind using that minute to leave us a rating or a review, it has actually changed a lot on the back end for us. And we really appreciate that. So thank you in advance and enjoy the episode. Hey, welcome to the Sartorial Geek Podcast. I'm Jordan Ellis of Jordan Danae, and I'm so excited to be here with Alyssa Bradley. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Good.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. I was actually trying to figure out today, do you remember how we even met each other? Because I have no idea. I feel like you do?
I remember because I stand you really hard. Yeah, so it was, I think we had like followed each other on Instagram, but then last year at C2E2, I knew you were going to have a booth. And so I was like, I have to meet Jordan.
Yeah, in my head, I was like, we've just been on the internet forever. Like I couldn't remember like the moment. That is right. You're right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that was great.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like I try to find like all of the like nerd girls out in the world. So I couldn't remember if it was like through looking for Leia or just from like random Instagram, because I feel like we float in a lot of the same circles. Like we are fans of the same things, which is very fun.
Yes.
And yeah, and your Instagram is beautiful and your photos are beautiful, which is something that is so fun as like half of the fun of having a clothing company is seeing really pretty pictures that people take in the clothes, which you crush it, which is awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's so funny because that's all like, in all honesty, it's all like really new to me. Like it.
Oh, really?
I feel like my Instagram. Oh, thank you. No, like my Instagram, honestly, I had a hard time getting it to take off until like the start of this year. Like,
whoa.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It was hard, like just trying a bunch of different things and trying to figure out like what my sweet spot was and, you know, like what kinds of things I liked posting about and what kinds of things people like seeing. So,
I mean, I think that's super relatable. Yeah. It's really hard. It's
such a game.
Yeah. And like, it's funny too, because it's like the thing of like, you have to have a brand, but it's so weird to have a brand that's just you and your personality. Yeah. Like that's such a strange concept, you know?
Yeah. Oh,
but I feel like you figured it out, which is awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I kind of got to this point, like, so, you know, like I'm an illustrator. So I kind of got to this point where everyone was like, well, if you want to do art online, you have to just post art. Like you can't post yourself. You have to only post art. And some people do that and they're really good at it. But I was like, I don't want to just post art. Like I want to post like other stuff I'm into and like cool things that I see and like share other people's stuff. And that's kind of like the big no-no of Instagram, right? Is like to do more than one thing, right. But
don't have too many passions.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah. So I'm glad it's working. That's encouraging.
Yeah. Well, and that's like the struggle of a fangirl, right? Is like you love everything. So I think it's cool that you can post about Star Wars and then Loki and then fashion and then your own art. And that's great. And that's like very relatable. Like that's so it's real.
Scatterbrain self.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that's also
I think that's also how, like, I guess this happens with other people and not just nerdy people, but that's how you can find connections with someone and you're like, oh, we like all the same things. Because I know the 7 things you love and they're the same 7 things I love.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I think that's how I've met like most of my friends, like through Instagram, is just like posting like a bunch of random stuff on stories and then they like slide into my DMs like, I love this thing too. And then it's like whole conversation. Like, it's great. I'm sure that's been your experience too, but.
Yeah. Oh, that actually, I have a question that I probably should know the answer to. Is Mischief Monday, like what? Where did that start somewhere or because like I don't know that was pretty quick and I was like, oh, people are doing this, but I wasn't sure like what it actually is.
I have no idea. Like I'm sure somebody else smarter than me started it a while ago.
I mean,
and then I'm trying to remember how. I think just one day I was like, I want to post a Loki thing on a Monday, and so we'll just call it Mischief Monday. And then you know, a lot of other people that are super into Loki, like, you know, Alice and Mandy are like super into Loki. And so they're like, yeah, this is a great idea. Let's do it. And then people just kind of started doing it. And then I saw Elle Hoffer Design posted it today and I was like, I don't think she saw, I'm sure she didn't see mine, but yeah, I don't know, but it's fun. So it's just a fun
I've been loving it. My feed is so much Loki now because Mackenzie Lee's Loki book came out and then I follow, you know, as many geeky fashion people as I can. And so it's been this like wonderful thing. I was just like, I don't know where this came from, but I'm so into it.
It's like the perfect storm of like, there's so much good Loki content right now. And so all of us that have been like sitting around since 2012, like we need more content. And then now we're just like so fed. I think it was just a lot of excitement. Like whenever I post stuff about Loki, it's like, some of my most popular stuff. It's like everybody's out there and we're into it. So
I am so excited for the show to actually happen.
I know.
My goodness.
I can't believe I was so sad when I found out it's next winter because I thought it was going to be this winter.
I know. I thought every Disney Plus thing I had heard of was like happening at the beginning and I am also sad.
I did too. I know. It was really upsetting, but it's going to be great. So I can't believe that it's happening. And it's being directed by a woman, which I'm super stoked about.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was at San Diego when all the like a ton of the announcements came and then I like forgot to catch up on stuff. Because then D23 happened and then even more stuff came on. I'm super behind.
Yeah. No, there was a lot.
Yeah.
There was a lot.
Marvel and Disney and Star Wars are doing so much right now.
I know. Yeah. Well, it's definitely a lot.
And that's like a fun lead into I think this is like the main fan thing I think about that I associate with you is looking for Leia because you are a part of that, which is super cool.
Yeah.
And I think that's where like I see you like walking around cons, like working on that and like spreading the good word, which is very awesome.
Yeah, spreading the gospel of looking for Leia.
Yeah, I think most people have an idea of what it is, but do you have like a quick, not pitch, but like a quick overview of what looking for Leia is and what you do as a part of it?
So anyone can get more detailed information at lookingforleia.com. There's like a whole write-up, but the general idea is it's going to be a 6 or 7 episode docu-series about women and non-binary fans, just fans of Star Wars. And so it's kind of like highlighting specific stories from different people that had been interviewed talking about their experience. And it's kind of... It's not necessarily just like, I like Star Wars, but it's also kind of a commentary and showcasing like how women are like creating things and how like using Star Wars as inspiration to like make transformative works and all these like really cool creative things like fanzines and droid building and like cosplay and all that kind of stuff. So it's super cool. There's a lot of really awesome stories. Yeah.
I'm so excited
I'm the art director on that. So basically I'm the person that finds people to make beautiful art for us that we can include in the episodes. And there's like some animating and stuff that's involved. So I kind of do all that fun stuff. Yeah.
I'm so excited. That's so cool. I've been hearing about it for so long. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we're excited too. It's been a long journey.
Yeah, that's such a cool thing to be a part of though. How did you get like hooked up with that?
Yeah, so this is funny because I had my version of it, and then like there was another layer added to the story that I literally found out like a week ago after like 2 years. But, I had heard about, so this was like the spring of 2017. It was kind of shortly after Annalise, the director, had started production on it. She had started the like initial filming. So I had read an article about it on the Mary Sue, and basically I was reading, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like, you know, empowering women and women that love Star Wars. And I've loved Star Wars my whole life. Like, this is the exactly kind of thing that I want to be a part of. So I was like, even if I can just send in a quote or whatever, or like donate an art piece or something, I'll be happy. So she had like a contact form on her website. So I just filled that out. It was literally just like a blind, like, you know, cold contact, just like, hey, here's my portfolio. I really love Star Wars. If you need any of my talents, you know, just let me know. And so I was totally shocked because she literally emailed me back like that night and was like, oh my gosh, like I love your art so much. And, you know, I'm doing a Kickstarter and would you want to do art for that? Like we're launching it next week or something. Cool. So yeah, it's crazy. But the thing that I just found out a couple of weeks ago is that apparently she had seen my work before and was going to contact me.
No way.
Yeah. So that was kind of crazy to find out, but that's why she went back so fast, I guess.
When stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. So that was pretty crazy. But yeah, so then we kind of just started our partnership that way. And I made like an exclusive Kickstarter illustration. And then that kind of led into, you know, the Seed and Spark campaign, which was last spring. Did some more art for that, for some of the perks. It's like where the Hut Slayer pin and the design came from. And then...
Yeah, I have one of those on my pinboard. I love it.
Yay, good. Yeah, and then kind of after that, I even did some filming because she's like, oh, do you have film experience? I'm like, yes. So, and independent productions are fun because everybody wears a lot of hats. So you kind of do all the things. So I did like some filming for it. And then, yeah, kind of escalated into like, okay, well, you want to like be an art director and, you know, you can do motion graphics. So like you want to kind of do all those different things too. So yeah, that's how I got here.
So cool. Is your background, like your job background in video art stuff?
Yeah, I've kind of had experience in like just visual art in general. Again, I don't like being pinned down to just one thing.
So. No, totally.
So my degree is in graphic design and illustration because I was like, oh, I'm going to be an illustrator. And then I was like, no, I don't want to just be an illustrator.
That's also a super hard full-time gigs to find and do.
Yes, it's extremely hard. And I found that out pretty quickly. And then I had a job doing visual design, like in a marketing position. I was like, oh, I don't like graphic design all the time is kind of hard too. And then I had like photography and some film experience. So my current job now is media production. And yeah, so I can just do all the things. And I like doing them. It keeps things interesting. So, yeah.
I mean, I can definitely speak to not wanting to do the same thing all the time.
Yeah, right.
I totally get it. Like it's really cool when you can find a field that's possible because some fields aren't really like you can't really bounce around. And that's cool. Yeah, like that's the dream person to connect with if you're trying to do any type of independent production, someone who can do everything because you probably can't hire 7 different people to do that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's super great that you got connected with that.
Yeah.
And then the like geek fashion stuff that you do, is that all hobby or have you ever done like fashion things?
No, that's mostly just me just wearing clothes that I like. Yeah, it's mostly just hobby at this point. You know, I've always had kind of a mild interest in fashion, which is ironic because I didn't really know how to dress myself until like 2 years ago.
Listen, I still barely do, so I'm with you.
No. No. And what's funny too is like your clothes, the reason I connected with it so much is just because like, I was like, this is like when I was kind of in that spot of like, I don't really like, I want to be cute and geeky, but I don't know how to do that. Like your clothes fit like that exact little spot in me. And so that really like was very formative for me.
That's
so
awesome.
Thank you for that.
Well, I mean, that's why I am into it too, because like, yeah, like I'm not a fashion pro. So it's not like I can just put together an amazing outfit with whatever. And I'm like an adult who lives in a city who wants to look my age, but also be nerdy. So
right, yeah.
that's what I love. And that's what's really fun about like, I love following like your account and Alice and actually a ton of the Jordan Danae ambassadors, which you are one, have really, really great accounts for inspiration. Like I copy you guys all the time in my real life because you wear like the subtly nerdy stuff super well and do really great bounding and really great accessories. And it's super motivating for me. And it's cool because a lot of you have really different styles too. So like, I'm so bad at fashion. I don't know how to like describe your style, but I can picture it. It's like, you know, you use accessories really well and use like bold colors, but it's also sort of
it's like geek punk.
Dark. Yeah.
There's like geek chic and like geek punk.
Yeah. And it's not like super gothy or anything, but it you know, is wearable and geek punk is a perfect description. And that's fun too, because like I barely know how to do that. I just got my first pair of Doc Martens that I like want to wear every second.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. And I'm like, normally people get them when they're like an angry 14-year-old and then figure it out then. And I'm like in my 30s trying to figure out how to wear boots.
Oh yeah. That's so relatable.
Yeah. But it's awesome. And I guess we can tease this now because this episode will come out before that. We're doing our very first Sartorial Geek Fashion panel at New York Comic Con and you are going to be a part of it. And I'm so freaking excited.
I'm so excited too. I know I mentioned this to you before, but I was literally like, I almost fell out of my chair when I read that email. So thank you for that. But yeah, I'm really stoked. It's going to be a great panel too. There's a lot of really awesome people that I also stan. So,
and I think it's going to be really fun because something that bores me a little bit about fashion is when everything is too similar. Like if a brand is doing something, not that that's a bad thing. Brands do things all the time, but it's like, oh, this is all your aesthetic. But something I'm super excited about is Liz and I are moderating and there are 4 panelists who are each doing a little bit of like a how-to and like a bounding and geek fashion tips, but all 4 of you have super different styles. And I'm so excited to see what it all looks like together. I can't wait.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, and that's what I really love about, you know, how you guys approach fashion and stuff is like, you know, like I really like the little like short, quick tips that you guys have been doing. Like it's very easy to kind of just like get started on those. And like, you know, you share so many different people and what they're doing. And, you know, I copy people too. Like, you know, it's like, oh yeah, this is like super easy. And it just helps make fashion like more accessible and less overwhelming when you can see like all these different ideas or even like, you know, again, back to your clothes, like everyone's wearing them, but everyone wears them like completely different. And it helps like give a lot of ideas. So
yeah and
it's really inspiring.
I think fashion, like everyone has like different things they're coming to the table with when they're dressing themselves. So like where you live, what the weather's like, what your body is like, what colors you like, all of those things, even if you're like copying something that someone else is doing or like taking ideas, it's gonna look completely different on different people. But that's a cool thing too, because then, you know, when you show 20 different ways to wear something, you can pull your own like favorite out of that, which is so awesome.
Yeah.
I love just looking at like, I mean, personally, I look at like the Jordan Danae hashtag all the time, but even like other brands, the photos that they're tagged in, like Who's It's and What's It's or Elhofer, any of the other Black Milk, it's really cool to see different people, like how different people put things together. Or because a lot of us shop at the same places, like I'll just be scrolling my own feed and be like, oh, I own that, but I never would have worn it like that.
Yeah.
I feel like there are certain staple pieces that a lot of us like nerdy fashion humans end up getting the same things a lot.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. And even like seeing people like, you know, wear things and you're like, oh my gosh, it's so cute. And it's like, I never would have like thought about wearing that, like just by looking at it on a website. Like, I think Black Milk has that, like that bodysuit that we all have.
That we all have.
And I saw you wear it and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. And like, I saw a few other people wear it. I was like, oh, it looks really cute on like actual people. Like I have to have this.
And then it was so funny because was that in your Hella outfit?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I was like, wait, I have that, but I would have worn it like that. But now I'm going to.
Right, yeah.
That was an awesome thing about the fashion challenge. And we're definitely going to do more, was seeing like some of the same stuff did pop up like multiple times. It was really, really cool to see.
Yeah. That was really cool. There was so many good looks from that.
Yeah. And like bounding is so incredible, and like casual cosplay, because two people could even be doing the same character. And I mean, you do like Loki looks all the time and they're different. You know what I mean? It's not like it's the same thing over and over.
Just get green and black and some gold and you're good. Yeah.
But it's really, really cool to see how that works out.
Yeah.
So I know that like Star Wars and Loki are things that you love. Do you have other like top fandoms, or are those the main?
I mean, those are the ones I talk about. But yeah, I mean, I have a lot of video games that I'm into. Like, I never talked about this because this was like pre me being active on the internet, but I'm also obsessed with Dragon Age. I don't know if you've played those or not.
No, I have. I am a super, super bad gamer, so I don't know anything about games. But I've heard of that one, which is impressive for me.
Yes. Honestly, you could even just do like watch playthroughs of those. Like if you don't want to sit and play the whole game. So it's like, it's your typical high fantasy. I think the first game came out in like 2009 or something, and then the newest one came out in 2014. So it's kind of been for a while. But yeah, so it's basically the lore is very complicated.
All like high fantasy.
It's just your typical high fantasy, but it's a BioWare game, so it's very much all about like building relationships with the NPCs, and you can romance characters, and so like. I always love the stories that have, you know, like Star Wars, like that have like these super deep connections with these characters on like a very, you know, basic level, I guess. But then also at the same time, there's like this huge, like giant story going on in the background, and it like is this whole universe and everything. So Dragon Age is kind of like that, where there's like this massive, like, you know, cataclysmic event that's going to destroy the world that's happening. But then at the same time, you're just like, role playing in that and just trying to get through like every terrible day.
That's awesome. Yeah, do you play like online with other people, or is it all NPCs and you?
Yeah, it's just a single player RPG. Yeah. So, and it's kind of like a movie. It's just like a really long movie that you get to interact in, and you get really personally invested. So
that's sweet. I've definitely heard of it. Like there are certain games that get talked about a lot, and I'm like, oh, I wish I knew what that was.
Yeah. You should look it up sometime.
I mean,
just like watch YouTube videos.
Yeah, I like your idea of just watching someone else play. Because honestly, part of the struggle is I am very, very bad at playing, like at controllers. But I like the story, so that's a really good idea. Maybe that's the solution for me. Just like, can you watch that on like Twitch, or is it too old for that?
There might be people streaming it. I'm not sure. But I know for sure if you just look up like Dragon Age Inquisition is the new one. If you just look up like Dragon Age Inquisition walkthrough, like, you know, usually people will be playing it without commentary, so you can just like basically just watch a long movie.
That was essentially like, that's what I did growing up with my brother. Like he would play and be good at it, and then I would just watch.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. And that's what I appreciate about, like, to your point of like struggling with skill level. Like I'm totally hear you. I'm on the same page. And that's what I appreciate about a lot of newer games I've noticed they have like movie mode, right? So it's basically like stupid easy mode, but you don't have to stress out about, like, you can just experience the game and basically watch a movie and do a little bit of playing and not get all frustrated about sucking really bad. So
that's a really good point. I haven't really thought about that. Like I forget that games have so many different like reasons to be into them. So in my head, it's like games are for winning. So if you're not gonna be competitive, then like what's the point? But that's so true. Games are like a beautiful story that then, you know, you get in on that fandom too, which is so awesome.
Yeah, it's not about the destination, it's the journey. Especially as the case of Dragon Age, because the ending to like all the Dragon Age games is like whatever, but you don't even care because the whole 40 hours or however you played was the best. So
is it just one? Is it just 2 games?
There's 3 games. Cool. Yeah, and so the thing about Dragon Age is you don't have to play it this way, but they have set it up so that you can, is if you play them in order, you can, like, the choices, because they have all these branching choices. And so the decisions that you make in the games can like transfer over to the other ones. So then by the time you get to the 3rd game, like you're kind of running into things that like you made an impact on in the world, like from the first game. So it makes it like this really personal experience. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Are there any other games that you're super into?
Well, I got a Switch. Like, I was like, I'm never going to get a Switch. I'm not going to do it. And then I did. Yeah. So that was like 9 months ago. And I've pretty much just been playing Pokemon. And I love that game. And Breath of the Wild, I'm not going to say how many hours, but I'm at the end now. And I'm like, but I don't want it to end. Like, I'm literally just like, I have the last quest to do. And I'm just like, no, I'm avoiding it. I'm going to go like ride around on a horse for like an hour. So do you have Breath of the Wild?
So
you played that?
I have it. So Pokemon was the first game I got.
Yes.
And it was so nostalgic because it was like the Game Boy game and it was perfect. And I was like, cool, I know how to do this. Like, I've done this already. I own Breath of the Wild. And because I'm so dumb at games, like I put it in and I was like, what do I do? Like, I don't know what anything is. I don't know anything. So one of my friends recently is also super into it. And he like talked me through like what the controls are and what the menus mean. So I'm gonna get back into it because it's exactly the kind of game I would love.
Yeah,
I started playing Stardew Valley because there are like 3 buttons on that. It's super easy and I could not stop playing.
That's what I've heard from people that play that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is that like I don't know. I think of it as like a crafting game. Like, is it like a farming sim?
Yeah, it reminds me. The closest thing I think it is to things that I've done before is like SimCity, but it's a farm.
Oh, okay.
But then it's cool too because you're a person in your little farm, but there's a whole town, so you can like have interactions with the other people. Like you can like give them presents. You become better friends, and you can fish and yeah, like, so you're building your little farm, but then you are doing other things too, and like mining. It
sounds really relaxing.
Yeah, it's the part of me that loves Pokemon. Like, it's just like collecting and building, and the talent that you need going into it is pretty much like up, down, left, right, which is exactly what I can do.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, straightforward and very cute is the sweet spot of video games.
It's so nostalgic. Like it's that old school, like all the graphics look like they did when we were kids. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to pick that one up sometime.
Well, be careful.
Maybe if I ever. Yeah. When I'm ready for another obsession.
That's why I sort of have been taking my time with Breath of the Wild. I was like, oh, maybe I should wait until I'm like going on vacation or like taking a break from work, because I am sure I'll just get lost in that world.
It consumes your soul.
Yeah, maybe that's why I'm not a big gamer, because if I do, it's it for me.
Yeah, that's very real. That's how I was with Dragon Age. Yep. It was like a year of just straight playing, like, because I was like, well, I've played the first game, I have to play the second game. Just
you do.
Yeah, just takes over everything.
That's so awesome. I love getting recommendations for stuff like that like I didn't really know about. I'm probably gonna watch some of that tonight.
Yeah,
that's so awesome.
Do it.
Thanks so much for chatting and just like fangirling about stuff with me.
Yeah, of course. Anytime.
So for anyone coming to New York, please come to our panel. When it gets closer, we'll post about it. But we're gonna try. I never like promise technology things in case something doesn't go wrong. We're gonna try to record it in some kind of way. Video would probably be better because it's gonna be about like what everyone looks like and is wearing. But so that'll be cool. But where can people like follow and find you on the internet too in the meantime?
Yeah. So my Instagram is at Miss MISS.LYS, Missless. And then my Twitter is different because there are people squatting on my handles. So
that's so rude. I hate that.
It's really but my Twitter is at Whimsy Designs, and Whimsy is spelled WHIMSY. And then my website has all my info on social media, whimsydesignandillustration.com. So that's kind of the hub where you can find all the stuff about me. So
that's awesome. Yeah, everyone follow especially for Loki goodness. I love it.
I try to bring that good Loki content.
It's great.
Yes. So good.
Sweet. Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited to keep doing more stuff together. But thanks for joining today. This has been great.
Yes, thank you for having me. This has been super awesome. Yay.
And thank you all for listening. Hopefully you found some new either games or something inspirational, or following Alyssa's Instagram will find cool things to add to your outfit. But yeah, thank you all for listening. If you like the podcast and wouldn't mind leaving us a rating or a review or checking out our Patreon, that would be huge. Have a great week, and we'll see you later. Stay nerdy. Bye.